Liberty Garden update, April 17th, Tuesday. Neighbor's rooster. This is on the side of our property. And there's briars all over here. I used 150 pounds of salt last week, and I didn't have enough. I didn't start on this area. But there's more briars, and that is poison oak right there. Those little pretty little plants right there. And this is a water oak that's volunteered. But this is all going to be cleared out. I got some more stepping stones that I made before years ago. Over 10 years ago I made for a herb bed that was where the building is now, on that south side. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks to get all this cleared out and salted and leveled. There's a picket fence, a couple of picket fences strips in there that we did have at one time where the building is now. And this needs to be cleared out. I'm hoping to grow some corn. I've got a bunch of red corn sprouted and needing to be planted. There's some blackberries. There's two different types of blackberries that grow here. And this type only produces these little berries. They don't get much bigger than these that I've ever noticed. And they have these big pointy leaves on it. The other variety has small rounded leaves, and they have bigger berries. And there's a patch of them near our pump house. And I'm not going to transplant them. I think I'm going to fence them in so that people won't mow them down, my husband and son-in-law, and let them grow there and harvest that. But I got to clear all this. I had grown beans here a couple of years ago. I've transplanted my Korean sweet potatoes last week, and yesterday I had to leave and I couldn't water them. I was gone most of the day. When I came back, it just gone up to 85 degrees and the heat got to them. But they're okay. They're not dead. So I'm just going to keep watering them and then try to get the stems to go down and root, which I'll show you with the purple potato. This bed's the only bed that has nothing in it yet. And I salted the briars that were coming up in it. And just salted this whole area. This is still a hole there. Gotta be careful. And this is for the water system my husband will put in. But here's the other thing that I did. I cleaned up around the compost area and made a compost tea bucket with my husband's help. And this is how I am watering, especially the plants, the blueberry and the tea plant, and the one peach and fig trees that we have. I like this. I'm using these little spike things to water all those that are outside the garden, and they're getting the compost tea, and I can tell a difference. One of the plants was turning, one of my tea leaves was turning yellow, and it's now turning back to green. Now, all around this little composter, which I loaded back up, there was briars. See, they were salted and they're dying and dead. But there was a bunch of chickweed here, which I was so thrilled to find. And I got a bunch of seeds because a bunch of them were already dried. And I found another little chickweed plant on the other side of the garden, which I'm nursing and just letting it grow there. And we're got to figure out some way to protect it because it's not in the bed. Look at the ants. Oh, the fire ants are the bane here. They got me good last week. My toes are still hurting, and that's why I'm now wearing boots instead of my Crocs, which they just went into and tore me up. But I'll show you that. I bought a foxglove. And for those that don't know, that's digitalis. That's where digitalis is made from foxglove. So it does have some powerful medicinal uses, which I am not qualified to do, but I wanted some flowers. I wanted to do something that besides just plants, I want to expand and experiment and grow beyond the food and herbs. This is a cherry tomato, and I am going to see if I don't think Praxis method may work on this because I may have bought it too big. I was hoping that I'm not going to cut any of the suckers off. I'm just going to let it bush out. And even though I've got a cage here, because I think it's too spindly now to really support itself, I'm hoping it will be able to support itself whether I leave the cage there or not. Here's two of my artichoke seedlings, and they're producing true leaves. These are the seed leaves that came out, and now the true leaves are coming out. And this bucket is mainly, well, but all these buckets are mainly manure with the topping of compost on it. See how they do. I really wish I knew what these mushrooms were. Not that I would eat them, but they're from the horse manure. This is not from the compost manure from 2 years ago that I bought. I'm pretty sure that all the spores and that compost was destroyed. But the horse, in the paddock, you can see mushrooms popping up all over the place. And I bought some cucumbers. So there's nothing else in this. Oh, take that back. I put a zucchini over there. The couple of 5 of my zucchini, there was a 6-pack. 5 of them had doubles in it. And I decided to go ahead and split them out and put them in their own little spots. I got all the cages taken out of the buckets and getting things cleaned up. But the zucchinis are in the corner here. I went ahead and put the other 3 cucumbers here, purpless. And the beans are doing great. Those are the 2 volunteer black-eyed peas. But all these zucchinis here, this was a double. I put 2. And here's the purple or blue potato. I'm not sure which one it's rightly called. And it is starting, you see how it is starting to produce more stems, and they will root at those points. They'll go down and root. And I went ahead and put zucchinis on the 4 corners of this. I may have to pull them up. I'm not too worried about it. But over here, it was a big mound of fire ants. I've been just hosing them down, and spraying them, just aggravating them. And they moved over here. I started hosing them, but they've already rebuilt since last night. All that dirt will wash to nothing, and you can see the bottom of the plant. But you see what they've done to my Greek oregano, which I'm glad I've got a start from it over there. But you see, they're just, all this that's cut off, that's been since last night. I think those were all bent over, and they cut them out of the way. The stevia is doing great. That's the one that came back, and the rest, the other 4 I bought. I planted some eggplant seeds in there. And they actually look like eggs. They're the size of eggs, and they come in yellow and white on the plant. They turn. So that'll be interesting. Just something for fun. My new sage plant, my old sage plant. Let's see, the Brussels sprout. Yeah, Brussels sprouts. Look how nicely they're doing. These are all from seeds. I can't seem to do well in a greenhouse, but things I start where they're supposed to be, even if it's not at the right time, I seem to do better with. Now these are all horseradish. This is the side shoots of the big horseradish plant. So I've been watering them. And I've been doing half of this with the compost tea and the other half of just plain water. Just to try, just to see what difference does it make. And the peas are doing real well. And we ate some of the shoots. These are Grow Your Greens. John Kohler, he's great. You talk about gardening. Wow. But you can eat the tips of these, and they are very delicious. tastes like a pea, but the texture is not a pea. Oh, and the compost tea, that's actually a couple of different people's ideas, but I didn't want the bubbler. I didn't want to deal with another electrical anything. So Praxis had a good video on just making compost tea. Whether I wait 24 hours for my tea or a few hours, I don't mind. I don't mind the wait of additional, the next day to use it. These were free mint plants I was given from my local feed and seed. Thank you, Sammy. She's great. And these were growing wild, and she's been trying to mow them down, and she's like, get them. So I'm not sure what the variety is, and this was bent over for a couple of days, but now it's all strong and straight. They've been getting compost tea also, and lots of water. Mints are a good water plant. If you have a pond, you can put it right in the water, and they will just take off. They love it. Hey, kitty. Hey, sweetie. That's an apple mint and a chocolate mint. And my 2 zucchinis. More buckets I will have to clean. Oh, also this right here is, we call it a gooseberry. We're not really sure. I think it's a wild form of blueberry, but they don't turn blue. And we got a patch of them here. Well, they've been here along with the briars, and I'm not sure if I want to dig them up and put them somewhere more organized or just leave some of them here. Probably I'm definitely gonna leave some of them here and let them continue on in their wild endeavor. You can see the flowers on that one, and I've been working on the buckets and containers here, dumping last year when I ran out, not last year, year before, when I ran out of the compost, I started using dirt and then putting compost on top. And that dirt, even though there was, you see that much compost on top, things came up. The blackberry came up. There's all sorts of other things. But I'm hoping this week get all this. This is the top priority for this week, is to get all these buckets emptied, washed, and refilled. I'll show you my tomatoes, the Cherokee Purples, but there's the other, it's just a plain peppermint over there, and it's doing great. I've had that one longer than the other mints. Bought a dill and another New English thyme because the old plant is getting kind of feeble. Swiss chard, which one of my grandsons absolutely loves Swiss chard. And they come in here now. They know which plants that they're allowed to nibble off of. Not the digitalis. And all those Cherokee Purples, they're getting their true leaves. So I've got to get them transplanted this week into their containers. Here's some more artichokes. Hey, Kitty's just being demanding today. That's not typical of him. I bought pineapple sage. I'm excited about that. And my lettuces. See? I'm gonna start harvesting some of them for the microgreens and start thinning things out, and maybe transplant some to a bed for my window, kitchen window, so we'll have some inside, because these will probably bolt before the ones inside will bolt because of the temperature in the house versus the heat we're already getting here. But besides the red leaf, I'm not sure what the green ones are. There's different ones. They're leafing a little differently. Some I'm sure are just plain green leaf. Kitty, get out of there. So, been doing that. The strawberries are all doing well. I may actually get some this year. I think I mess with the strawberries too much. I baby them or do something and I just mess them up. So I'm trying not to do that. But this half of the bed I have been using compost tea, and the other half I'm letting be. Oh, we had something is going on with the lamb's quarter. That's not as, there, that's in the leaf itself, and I've been just plucking them. I think it's some sort of burrowing creature that's in the leaf. I need to look that up. But if you know, please tell me. But I've been just taken them out because I don't know what else to do. I don't want to use anything, and the patch isn't so big I can't manage that. I'm hoping it's not a fungus. And I'm trying to avoid watering at night. But do you see how nicely the lamb's quarter's doing in the onion bed? And I'm letting the onions, letting the seeds just kind of go where they are, and hopefully get some more back next year or later this year. And we made some more. Okay, these are old ones from, over a decade ago. And these are new ones. My grandson's, older one, younger one, and a leaf one. And one last thing. I like a little quirkiness, a little something different. So I put these red gems. They were already wired for this other decoration I did for a Valentine's banquet, and I put them in the tree. Thought, why not? Anyway, hope you enjoyed the update. Thanks for watching.